Hey, happy Saturday. Paul Carlson here, small workshop guy. So this is one of the things I'm going to do weekly for a while, and what I'm going to do each week and see how you guys like it, see how you react to it, is I'm going to have kind of a thing where I review 3 new videos, and those will be videos that have come out during the last week. And I pick them kind of related for myself, and I have maybe 600 subscriptions that I kind of keep track of, at least some of them. And I look for videos that would be helpful to novice or beginner DIY types of woodworkers. And I hope you like those. It's kind of an attempt to save you some time. If you wanted to see 2 or 3 really good educational videos every week, then all you got to do is come to my little weekly review and see what I recommend. The second thing I'm going to do is then find one of the all-time classic videos that I think, particularly if you've entered woodworking in the last couple of years, you might have missed because they were done well before that. And maybe you haven't searched for the topic that's involved yet. So we'll do one of those. And then each week, to finish up, I'll do one shop, either tip or tool review or technique discussion or give you an organizational idea, and I'll just try to do one. I've got some other videos that I'm got in the can and I'm editing, but those take a long time, and so I've got a whole variety of things that will come out in addition to this weekly review. 3 new videos that you might like. The first one is a fellow named Frank Howarth. He's got a YouTube channel called Frank Makes, and he's fantastic. He has a big workshop, so it's not totally applicable to those of us trying to struggle with a one-car garage. But he produces some really good stuff, and he does really good voiceovers. And this one, he's building 3 great big planter boxes for a restaurant in his town. And he's dealing with big pieces of lumber, and he's dealing with big machines. But everything that he's doing, if you wanted to build a planter box, maybe for your deck or your backyard or something, you're just going to scale it down and use the tools that you have instead of what's he got. So where he's maybe running it through a jointer, maybe you're going to use a hand plane to get your boards ready. So anyway, it's a really good video. He's already got 57,000 views, and he only released it yesterday. So Frank is obviously, a lot of people like to watch whatever Frank brings out. So, and that's only 18 minutes long, and it's really entertaining, even if you decide not to build any planter boxes. Turn that one on. Next one is a full-blown build video. If you haven't discovered Paul Sellars, Paul Sellars is one of the master craftsmen of the YouTube creation industry. He's a lifetime woodworker. He produces some of the best education. This one is very long. It's 2 hours and 34 minutes. And that's because it's an entire build. When you watch a build video that long, you're going to pick up a lot of tips and techniques and methods and things, even if you're not building what he's building. If you just watch the process is applicable to most anything you build. So, and his are going to be primarily focusing on hand tools as opposed to power tools. In fact, is maybe entirely focusing on hand tools. So if you don't have a whole shop full of power tools, then Paul Sellars is the guy for you. He's got educational channels, he's got schools, he's got a lot of different builds. He's got a tremendous category of past videos. This one is how to build a sandbox for either your children, your grandchildren, or maybe your neighbor's children. Yeah, wouldn't be the end of the world if you messed it up. It's a sandbox. Kids are going to play in it and destroy it. So maybe it's a really good educational thing for you to take on if you're at the beginning stages of woodworking. And if you're an advanced woodworker, maybe your kids would like one anyway. The third one, and I keep picking sometimes the same guys. Rob Cosman, there's a reason I pick them. They keep producing good stuff. But Rob Cosman is a big proponent of learning to sharpen your chisels and your hand planes by hand, not with a jig. And so he feels that having a right size sharpening table, and he hooks it up to his workbench, but you could hook it up to the side of any of your shop cabinets. He just thinks that's critical to learning the technique. So he's got a relatively short, although long in terms of YouTube videos, but a 20-minute video about building that workstation. And believe me, it's very, very straightforward. All you need is where you're going to put it. So I highly recommend that you do that. You build your sharpening platform and you learn to start sharpening freehand, because it'll save you a lot of time, so you can spend more time on woodworking in the future. And then the classic, everybody could use this. If you haven't built yourself a crosscut sled, or if the one you build is not everything you want it to be, he's got a nice, relatively straightforward crosscut sled, and he also shows how to make up a miter sled combo. And it's an excellent, excellent video. It only has 3.3 million views from 4 years ago. So if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend that it becomes 3.3 million and one, the one being you. So give that a look. Let me give you my tip of the day, and that's there's a really simple method to hang the great majority of the things that you want to hang on a French cleat system. And again, the advantage of a French cleat system is if you don't like the way things look, or if you need a certain tool at a certain place for a certain build that you're doing, everything is movable, as opposed to my other wall where everything's fixed. Everything on here can be moved. Nothing is attached to that backboard. So anyway, in putting up my drill drivers, my flashlight, my impact driver, pin nailer, my crosscut sled, my circular saw, my jigsaw, many of the things that are up there are done with a really, really simple little arrangement. It is nothing more than a rectangular piece of wood, not a very large one, with, of course, you have to have the French cleat on the back, but that's just nothing more than a piece of wood cut at 45 degrees on the table saw. And then that slips into the opposing angle that's on the wall. And then these are like $3 or $4 each. I get them from Ace Hardware, which is in my neighborhood. And so I have a whole bunch of these, and most everything, even on my prior tool wall, will fit on these. These are amazing. Almost every single tool will hang on this in some fashion. So my tip of the day is go ahead and do your French cleat system, because the great majority of things that you want to get up on there right away can be done with this. And to put these together, I put some glue on there, but I just in attaching this with screws, I just have the screws long enough to go through here. And so this little puppy just hooks right on there. So literally everything you want to be on your wall, most everything, can go that way. Now you're going to have to build some bigger platforms for some of these other items. So that's it for today. 3 new videos, 1 old classic video, and 1 shop tip. You guys be safe in your workshop and have another nice week. I'll see you this time next Saturday.